Hello, my name is Keshwani. It's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to learn algebra. Today is our lesson number 148. Day 148. We are in the process of learning how to solve word problems from day 101 through 200, and today is our 48th day. The problem for today is already on the blackboard. I'm going to read it to you just in the event that you have trouble reading my handwriting. Here's the problem. It says a boy is B years old. A boy is B years old. B is some quantity, obviously. We do not know how much it is, but that's how old he is right now. A boy is B years old. Now, today, the question is, what is the present age of his father? What's the present age of his father who Y years from now, Y for the years, Y years from now will be T times as old as his son. That's it. How old is his father now if it turns out that he is going to be T times as old as his son Y years from now? And we are told that the son is B years old today. Son is B years old today. Pause the video if you must, solve it. When you have the answer, you can resume your video and compare the work that you're going to do, that you will have done with the work that we will do together, you and I. Alright? So here we go. Let's pretend, here's the solution. Let's pretend that the father is F years old now. If that is the case, then that implies if father is F years old now, then Y years from now, father will be, well, for example, if he's 50 years old today and Y happens to be 3, then if he's 50 years old today, then 3 years from now he will turn 53. 50 plus 3. If he is 40 years old today, then 15 years from now, if Y is 15 and F is 40, then if he's 40 years today, then 15 years from now he will have turned 40 plus 15. Therefore, Y years from now he will turn F plus Y years old. That's how old he's going to be Y years from now. At which point we are told that the father will be, at which point we are told the father will be, Y years from now will be T times as old as his son. Father will be T times as old as his son. The son who will have turned, by then will have turned, is B years old today, he will have turned B plus Y years from now, he will have turned B plus Y year old. This is the kind of thinking that you have to do on your own, which is why I take the bother, which is why I take the time to actually write it down. I could have just stood here and just say all these things that I just wrote down, that I thought might be easier for you to follow. if I actually write it down, because this is the kind of thinking you have to do, rational, logical, calm thinking to arrive at proper conclusion. Let me go through it one more time. It's not that complicated once you understand it. We are told that the boy is B years old. We are pretending. It should say let's pretend. Because that's what we're doing. We're pretending. We're plugging in. Let's pretend that the present age of father is F years. F is our invention. F is our creation. It is not the variable that appears in the problem. Why F? F for father is simple to remember. F represents father's age right now. B represents boy's age today. Boy is B years old today. Father is F year old today. If that were the case, then Y years from now, father should turn F plus Y. His age that we're pretending today plus Y more years. At which point, Y years from now that is, at which point we are told that the father, will have turned T times as old as his son. I shouldn't do this thing writing over it because it actually makes it more difficult to read. Will have turned T times as old as his son. Who, this pronoun here is, I believe it's called, that's the proper part of speech anyway. This who refers to the boy. At which point we are told that the father will be T times as old as his son, who, the son, by then will have turned B years, his current age, plus Y more years. Let's continue. Now I need more room, so I need to erase the question. You already have the question, so I'm going to erase it. We don't need it anymore because I need the room. So we're going to continue our work from here to up here. So we already know how old the father is going to be Y years from now. Y years from now the father is going to be F plus Y years old. Boy is going to be B plus Y years old because he's currently B years old. Y years from now it's going to be just Y more years. And we are told that at that point the father is going to be T times as old as son. We're going to incorporate all of that information now into one algebraic equation. Therefore, here we go, we follow from here. Therefore, Y years from now T times boy's age will equal his father's age. Then. That's what we are told. But the boy's age is B plus Y, and T times is going to be T times B plus Y. And his father's age, we figured out just now, is F plus Y. 1. That's it. Now, we need to solve this equation that we just arrived at here. We need to solve this equation for something. What we need to solve for, I'm going to put it on the blackboard, but again, I need more room, so I need to erase more stuff. So let's erase everything that we do not need anymore because we already got everything. And of course, you have a luxury of always going back and rewinding the thing, which is not the case in the classroom. Once it's gone, it's gone. You can here always rewind the thing. What I want you to understand is this part. Listen carefully. I'm going to actually write it down so that you understand it. Remember, the unknown, it has to go in quotations. What is the unknown quantity in this expression? Is the T? No, T is not the unknown because it is given in the problem. We are told that it's going to be T times as old as the other guy. Is it the boy's age? No, the boy's age is not unknown. What is the unknown here? Is it Boy, we are told the boy is b years old. We are told that quantity, boy is b years old. It is given to us. We are also told that y years from now something will happen. The y years from now, well, they're giving us how many years from now, y years from now. What is the unknown here? What is unknown here is what the punchline was. What was the punchline? The punchline was, what is the father's present age? What is the present age of father? What is the present age of father? That's what's being asked, and that's what we call unknown. Everything else is known. Remember, the unknown here is F. We have to answer that question. How old is the father today? So we have to solve this equation for this guy, for the unknown. Everything else is a known quantity. Everything else is a known quantity. Known quantity means i.e. given. That is, it is given to us. So now all we have to do is solve this equation for the unknown. Solve this equation right here. Solve this equation here. Solve this equation for the unknown, which is F. So let's do it then. It's already there. I'm going to rewrite it here so we can have it t times b plus y equals f plus y. Well, it's already there. The f is already there by itself. All we have to do is get rid of this y. How do we get rid of the y from that? By subtracting y from both sides. Subtract y from both sides of the equation, and voila, we have it. And therefore, f equals t times b plus y minus y. Very good. This is the final answer. How old is father? Well, we use the letter F to represent father's current age. Therefore, father's current age is given by this quantity, t times b plus y minus y. That's all. That's it. We're done as far as the problem is concerned. The last thing we should do, particularly in something like this where there's too much gymnastic going on here, of flipping back and forth, is to make sure that we have the right answer by plugging in values for the variable and thereby converting this algebra problem into an arithmetic problem. Solve the arithmetic problem, figure out the answer, and once we have that answer to that arithmetic problem, compare that answer to see what this expression gives us. And this was actually not an expression, it's an equation here. I was pointing to this part here. If this equation gives us the same value as what we find when we solve this problem in an arithmetic way, then this is the right equation. Let's do it. Again, I need room one more time. Everything else is going to go except I'm going to leave the bottom part. Let's plug in. Let's plug in numbers. To verify our answer. Let's pretend boy is 10 years old today. In other words, we're pretending b equals 10. That's what we're pretending. And then 5 years from now, let's say 5 years from now, father will be 3 times as old as his son. Okay, follow the logic. Try to follow the logic and see what happens. Let's first understand what numbers we are plugging in for the variables. There are 3 variables here. One we already figured out, b is 10 because we're pretending that the boy is 10. 5 years from now. That 5 years from now was our y. In the problem we were given y years from now. We were told that the father is going to be t times as old. So your t is 3. Based on these numbers, let's find out how old the father is, okay? Watch what happens. Based on these figures, let's find out how old the father is. I need the room again. Let's erase everything. Only thing that I'm going to leave at the bottom is our answer, because we need that, obviously we need to verify that answer. So let's see what happens. If boy is 10 years old today, that implies that 5 years from now, 5 years from now, boy will be 15. Which makes sense, because we are pretending that he is 10-year-old today, therefore 5 years from now he should be 15. Makes sense. At which point we are told that the father is 3 times as old. Well, if boy is, listen carefully, if boy is 10 years old today, if you're going to pretend that the boy is 10-year-old today, then 5 years from now, if you were to plug in 5 for y, then 5 years from now the boy must be 15. We are told at that point the father is going to be 3 times as old, which means father must be 45 by then, because he is 3 times as old at that point. Well, if father is 45 at that time, which is 5 years from now, then that implies father must be 40 now. Voila, he must be 40. He must be 40 now. One more time, listen carefully. I don't know why I have to keep saying listen carefully, because this I keep forgetting. It's the video, you can always go back and listen it again. It's the habit from the classroom. We're pretending that boy is 10. We're plugging in 10 for B. We're plugging in 5 for Y, and we're plugging in 3 for T. So now the question reads, I'm going to read the question to you as a matter of fact. I'm going to read the question to you, and you will see that it becomes an arithmetic question. The question reads now, read the question with me, and just replace wherever you see B, replace it with 10, wherever you see Y, replace it with 5, wherever you see, replace it with 3. And now the question reads, a boy is 10 years old today. What is the present age of his father, who 5 years from now will be 3 times as old as his son? There's the logic. If boy is 10 years old today, 5 years from now he will be 15. 5 years from now he'll be 15, and the father, we are told, is going to be 3 times as old. So the father must be 45 by then. If he's 45 by then he must be 40 today. Let's see what this answer gives us. T is 3. B is 10. Y is 5. Minus y, which is 5. Watch what happens. 10 plus 5 is 15. 15 times 3 is 45. 45 minus 5. You see, voila, 45 minus 5. He must be 40 today. Which is exactly what we found. It is the right answer. This answer is in fact the right answer. Father today is T times B plus Y minus Y. That is the current age of the father. That's it. You're done. I will see you tomorrow on day number 149. Okay? Bye now.